This antique cabinet shocked me. Let's give it a makeover and I'll show you why. I'm giving this a makeover for the Ivy Lane Challenge and the theme is Glamourati and Neo-Deco. Let's get into it. I started by giving it a good scrub down with simple green. Even though I plan to use a stripper to strip the paint on this, I still want to clean it first because that's just more work for my stripper to do, and I'd rather my stripper work on the paint. Also, please ignore the sound of playing children in the background. They were playing in the driveway while I was working on this. Mom life. Next, I was ready for my stripper. I like the Blue Bear stripper. This is a non-toxic stripper, so I am able to use it around my children comfortably. I don't have to wear a mask, and it works great. I feel like it's less messy than the chemically stuff. I used to hate stripping paint, but now I low-key kind of like it because look how satisfying this is. It feels so good to strip all that paint away in one swipe. So satisfying. I find that the key to working with paint stripper is that it needs to stay wet. So after it sits for a while, sometimes it can dry out, and that's no big deal. You just need to reactivate it by applying a little bit more stripper on top, and then the paint should just melt away. If it's not, then either you're doing something wrong or the product you're using is not working with the product you're trying to removing. So you need to troubleshoot. A moment of appreciation for stripper.
Wow!
To get into the little details, I used a wire brush with the stripper and it melted right off. To clean up the residue of the stripper, I used the paper towel trick and use either shop towels or paper towels, lay them across the wood, and then pour acetone all over. That helps the acetone go longer so that it doesn't just dry out immediately, and then you're able to quickly just wipe away all the residue. For these details, I dipped some steel wool into the acetone and scrubbed it down that way. With the paint gone, it was time to sand. I sanded everything down with 180 grit with my orbital sander. When using your sander, you want to try not to give in to temptation to move fast and let the orbital sander do the work. Move slowly, slow, even passes, and that will get you the best, smoothest results. And here is the moment that literally took my breath away and I realized I had something truly special. Flame mahogany veneer. Wait till you see what this looks like with sealer. But before I could do that, I had just one little repair to do on this leg. A little bit of the foot had come off, so I attached it with wood glue, and my clamp did not work on this because it was an odd shape. So I just used some painter's tape to keep it attached while the glue dried. Okay, are you ready to see the beauty that is this flame mahogany? I just used some sanding sealer to put over this. I didn't want to use a stain. I wanted to enhance the natural beauty. This doesn't need any covering up. It just needs to be highlighted, and look at what this does. I decided to keep the whole top wood. The rest of the wood wasn't nearly as special as the doors, and they needed more than sealer because they were just going to end up really light and washed out. So I used a walnut stain. This is the General Finishes oil-based wiping stain in the color American Walnut. And I just really wanted it to blend in with the doors as much as possible. And this color hit the mark for me. Once it had sat for a few minutes, I simply wiped it away with an old t-shirt. I sealed it with lacquer instead of poly. This is my first time using lacquer. It can be difficult to work with, but it is more true to the original finish, which is what I was going for. This stuff dries really fast, which means you can get a bunch of coats done in one day. That's great, but it also means you have less working time, and I had to clean out my gun between every coat so that it didn't mess up my spray gun. That was my biggest fear. So I used a lacquer thinner to rinse it out, and I sprayed actual lacquer thinner in between every single coat. So it was a little tedious, But if I were to buy rattle cans of lacquer to spray this thing, I would have spent so much more money and the finish would not have been as smooth, so it just was not worth it. Now, if you recall, the front of the doors had this trim on it. I removed the trim, it was just wood glued on. That made it a lot easier to refinish. I didn't record this part, but I did remove the paint, primed it in black, and then I used this gilding wax rub and buff to make them gold. It was a little bit of a puzzle to get these back on in just the right placement. There were some markings on the wood from where they were in some spots, but in some spots they had sanded off, so I just had to measure and tape and remeasure and retape until they looked right. I did have to step away a few times to come back with fresh eyeballs to do this. And then I just re-adhered it using wood glue as that was before. I did not use finish nails because this trim is so tiny that I think it would just split it right in half. So I think that's why it was just adhered with wood glue before, and I am following the original maker's lead. I actually primed the bottom part before attaching that trim, but I'm showing that to you now. I decided to brush and roll the primer. This is Wise Owl's Stain Blocking Primer in the color dark gray. Then it was time to get ready for the paint. So I had to mask off the whole top part so I didn't mess up the beautiful wood and prepare for my paint sprayer. I wanted to use a paint sprayer for the paint just so that it had a nice, flawless, smooth finish. The paint color I'm using is Wise Owl's 1 Hour Enamel in the color Jet Black. I used this on a couple of other pieces and it's just the perfect black. Once again, I used my Wagner Erlex to spray this. I am absolutely obsessed with this spray gun. If you want to invest in good equipment, can't recommend it enough. Fun fact, it was sunny the day that I sprayed this and I failed to wear sunscreen and got a nice sunburn on my back. This piece had no backer board, so I had to pick one up and I covered it in wallpaper, which for some reason I failed to record, so you'll just have to see that at the end. I must have just forgotten to push that little button. But I cut this down to size using my circular saw, and then once it was covered in my wallpaper, I attached it using some brad nails and my brad nailer. I got new hardware for this piece, and let me tell you, choosing hardware for this was very difficult. I actually ordered like 3 different things on Amazon. I ended up returning all of them, and I picked some up at Hobby Lobby that I felt like matched the style of the piece best, and I had to drill some new holes for the size of them. The only thing that was slightly off about this new hardware is that it wasn't quite gold enough. It was a little too dark for me, so I used the same rub and buff and antique gold that I used on the trim and just added that to the hardware. And then just to be a little bit extra, I carried that gold detail on some of these little intricate pieces on the legs, on this scroll work, and then on the woodworking details, because after all, the theme of this challenge is Glamourati. At this point, I thought I was done, but then I felt like it was missing just a little something. So I got these motion censored cabinet lights, and they couldn't be easier to install. They stick up with these magnets, and then you can easily remove them to charge them with the USB cord, and you can set them to be on all the time or motion censored. You can set bright light, soft light, combo light. They're pretty darn snazzy, and I think they just elevated this piece a little bit more. As a reminder, this was the before, covered in this teal paint and distressing red all inside. And here is the after. I still cannot believe that this beautiful wood was hiding under that paint. It is stunning, and I'm glad I didn't cover it up with any stain. She doesn't need it. She is beautiful on her own. Let me know what you think of this piece, if I nailed the Glamourati look, and be sure to check out all of the Ivy Lane challengers because there are some amazing, amazing pieces in this challenge. Thank you so much for watching. If you like upcycling and furniture flips, be sure to like and subscribe for more.